What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and today we're going to be talking about Stagger, in particular, putting your Stagger damage as high as possible. Now, I have spent quite a bit of time in the training area just messing around with different iconic abilities and trying to push this as far as possible, and the current loadout I've been able to consistently hit over 200,000 every time I do it. The highest I've seen it go so far is 234. I think with a little bit more limit break manipulation, I could push this up to 250. And a couple things to point out, keep in mind, I'm level 47. I'm level 47, I'm rocking a Defender +1, so this is going to get significantly stronger with some better gear, or going into New Game Plus and using something like Ultimate Weapon, but the setup itself seems to be incredibly solid. One thing I want to note is I'm just like running out of ability points. I would prefer this to be Garuda and just have this mastered and put that stuff on Garuda, but you know, ability points. So either way, let's jump over to gear and icons, and we're going to talk about the rotation. Now to start, you're going to want a target to be down to where it has roughly 25% of its stagger bar remaining. And we're going to end up using Raging Fists to break that bar. But before we do that, there's a couple precursor things. One, we want to have a level 5 Zantetsuken already charged up. And then we're going to get a Wings of Light charged up for a level 4 Mega Flare. So the idea is going to be, get this to level 5, swap over to Bahamut. This charge will persist, this one will not. But so we have Odin charged, we go to Bahamut, we get that up to level 4, we release the Mega Flare, taunt, and immediately counter with Raging Fists. This is usually going to initiate the Stagger. After we do that, we're going to swap on over, throw out a Diamond Dust. This isn't going to do a ton of damage, but it is going to put the Stagger meter straight up to 1.5, which gives us the damage multiplier on all of our subsequent moves. After this point, I'm going to pop limit, I'm going to throw out a Judgment Bolt, I'm going to swap over to Odin and let loose a level 5 Zantetsuken. I'm going to cancel my limit, throw down a Lightning Rod, go into Dancing Steel. This is going to charge me up to another level 5, re-engage my limit, throw out our second level 5 Zantetsuken, switch over to Bahamut, and release the Giga Flare. And if you're doing this all with precision timing, you might even have enough time to fit another Raging Fists into the mix, which I've actually debated. I could use Wind Up instead of Raging Fists here, just to fit even more damage in, but I really like how effective Raging Fists is at just kind of blowing through that Stagger meter. It's just a really satisfying ability. So either way, let's show you this in action. Other things to note for gear: Sons of Ouroboros, the Ouroboros belt. We have Genji gloves for the 5% damage dealt, but you know, like I said, we're working with the Defender +1 here, so this could definitely be stronger, but I've had a lot of people asking me for the combo, so let's get into it. So we got our level 4. We are going to release, block, Diamond Dust, I'm going to release the next one as soon as the animation resolve. $243. So, like I said, definitely coming up on approaching that 250 threshold. I think I just need a little bit more fine-tuning on the limit break manipulation, and obviously better gear is going to make this even stronger. But either way, that is my combo. So very straightforward. Some other stuff that I haven't had a chance to test, just to be, well, here's some stuff I have tested while we're on the note of it. So one of the big things thematically I did here is I went by and I looked at damage. Zantetsuken level 5 was the highest damage I found, followed by Giga Flare. and then followed by Judgment Bolt. In terms of normal abilities, Wind Up, this was by far the most just direct damage I was getting. If you want something that's more for tick damage, I also tested Impulse, Will-O-Wisps, as well as Rime. In that case, Impulse is going to be your best bet just to throw something out. This is going to do more damage than a full cast of Rime or a full cast of Will-O-Wisps. And on top of that, if you detonate this at the end and manage to time it, that's just going to do even more. So if you want to have a damage over time type 1, Impulse is what I would recommend working in, basically casting this out and then immediately going into the Giga Flare. That's a pretty safe combo. And also, I think I mentioned it at the start, but I'm not a big fan of actually having Ramuh and Blind Justice. I would typically have Garuda on, but, you know, ability points. So, need more ability points so that I can master this and then I don't need to have Ramuh, because right now, I mean, I'm pretty spread thin, having points over in Giga Flare, having that upgraded, having Diamond Dust mastered, and then having Dancing Steel upgraded, which I actually considered this for a bit, because Dancing Steel itself actually doesn't do a ton of damage. But since Zantetsuken does so much damage, I do think it's worth having this, since you can force out a second level 5 Zantetsuken in a single stagger. So either way, that is going to wrap things up. I didn't get a chance to test Flames of Rebirth for this. I do know Flames pauses the stagger meter, similar to how Judgment Bolt and Shiva does, so this might be something valuable to work in. I'm just, you know, I'm completely starved right now, so I haven't been able to fit that in, but that might be a decent slot to put in place of Raging Fists, just because it is an ultimate. But, you know, at the same time, I wanted to have a loadout that could be viable for just running around the world and fighting stuff as well, which I do think we have that here. Anyway, thanks for coming on by. I'll catch y'all later. Adios.